It's a great question. How do you make it more appealing to that generation? I, I'm a big believer in not conforming to anything unless your heart is in it. So that said, there's always going to be a certain part of the music that appeals to a certain generation uh, more than others. So if we're talking about hip hop, meets jazz, that obviously really captures the heartbeat of a lot of the generation. Then there's also rock and jazz that you can go about, and then there's all types of fusions. What's happening in jazz is very interesting anyhow, which is that there's a funnel of different musics going in and affecting it and making it, I guess, I don't want to say likable, but making it interesting towards that generation. So now really what it is it's up to, again, the people that have the means to really push those different types of music to really get it to that audience and not be afraid. Because right now what happens is that when somebody says jazz and you look at these pictures around, and these are all beautiful pictures of all the greatest jazz musicians that ever lived. You got Charlie Parker, you got Duke Ellington, you got, David Brubeck, Dizzy Gillespie. All these pictures are in black and white. And so what happens is that people look at it as it's a black and white music. And as soon as you see a black and white photo, you say, okay, that's old. And what you're doing is what you want to do is try to appeal to somebody that has no concept of how it was back then, or even really how it was in the 80s. If they were born in the mid 80s, what you're trying to do is appeal to them and say, well, this is still fresh and hip, but we had to look at it, we had to transfer it from the black and white lens and to the color and bring it into the future. I'm Jeremy Pelt, and I rock jazz.